Appreciate everybody's patience. As always, we'll start with opening comments from the head coach before we go to questions. Coach, when you're ready, take it away.
All right. Well, proud of our guys, and how they handled the week. We had a really good week of practice, and this is a very mature team, great leadership, and just loved how they went to work this week, and a great perspective. So not surprised to see them show up ready to go. I mean, had great energy, great enthusiasm right out of the gate. Played very, very crisp, for most of the first half there, and did what we needed to do. Offensively, we created some good balance. We got the run game going. Good to see Kobe and Shipley have the type of day they had. Thought DJ had a really good day. Really had one miss on a little high on the screen, and tips are usually picks, and that was a tough break there. But I thought he had an excellent day. Made some plays with his legs, which we need from him. So just really proud of him. A bunch of guys touched the ball. We had no sacks. I think we only had 2 or 3 negative yards, and I believe that was Will Taylor right there at the end. We had no negative yards the whole game. So just played a lot cleaner from an assignment standpoint, and hopefully when I watch the tape, I'll see some improvement in some of the fundamentals that we need to improve on from last week. But 200 plus rushing, 200 plus passing. Biggest disappointment offensively was the turnovers. As we subbed guys, again, tips and overthrows, they usually get those, and that's what happened today. They got the tip, and then Tyson with the overthrow. Kid made a great play on the ball. But that happens a lot of times when you overthrow it, and then Mikey was just loose. Really, I thought that was a great series by DJ in just managing the series and checking the ball down to the back. Back got out, something we did not do a good job of last week. Get the back getting out when he's supposed to get out, but the back got out. We checked the ball down. We got a nice little first down. We fumbled the ball. So, but very efficient. 8 of 13, 7 of 7 in the red zone. And again, just a lot of good things, and got to play a bunch of guys. I think we played 100-something guys. Awesome to see Justin Ross, come back. Had a really good day, and, man, he beat himself up all week after last week. Really proud of him, and pretty special to see him get in the end zone. And he kind of mistimed his jump on the one. I thought he might have had another one. But awesome to see him score, and again, see so many guys play well. Special teams, continue to be really solid in that area, 2 games in a row. I'm very, very pleased with what we're doing in special teams. And y'all see why I put Will Taylor back there. I mean, the guy is special, and he's just going to get better and better. I mean, he is mature way beyond his years, and very, very gifted, powerful kid, and explosive. And so, man, I was really excited. That's one of the longest returns we've had in a while. And I think, again, he's going to be a guy that will be a weapon, not just this year, but as he goes through his career. And then, but to me, the big thing I'm most pleased with is the defense. 2 weeks in a row, no touchdown. It's probably been I think 2017, Ross said, since we've done that. And not only no touchdown, but goal line stand on top of it. 4 downs down there, and all the backups in. And I can tell you that's been some of the most frustrating times for us around here, especially with Venables, is when you get in some of the games like that and you sub guys, and all of a sudden you see a drop off, and guys give up a score and things like that. But man, those guys played their tails off. We had a couple plays here or there, but to see them dig in and get that goal line stand, and to see all the the Skowskis and all them over on the sideline really playing every snap and being excited. I mean, that was a great moment. Great interception by Mickens. We had some stops on downs and did some good things. Played physical. I thought our first group was just awesome as far as leveraging the football and doing what we needed to do, run and pass defense. But the goal line stand was the highlight for me, because we had a lot of those backups in there, and seeing them continue to play well was awesome. But 2 weeks in a row, they couldn't get in the end zone, and I know we're a better team than South Carolina State, but Georgia's pretty good too. So really proud of our D, And so good day for us. Did what we needed to do. I thought that it was a special day with the crowd. I really appreciate our fans. I mean, it was really emotional, to be honest with you. Just riding around after what we experienced last year and riding around to the Rock and the Hill and seeing the Valley full. We just got an incredible venue here, and we've won a lot of games here at the Valley, and our fans are a big reason why. They give us an incredible environment to come to work in, and so it was an awesome day. The weather was beautiful. I thought all the Clemson event people did just an awesome job of capturing the essence of the day, with 9/11 and the first responders and the military, and honoring C.J. Spiller. That was an incredibly cool moment. My first rounder, my first Pro Bowler, and first Hall of Famer, and first 5-star. All the above, and really, really cool to be a part of that moment with his family. And it was just a beautiful day. So really excited about what I saw. But it's all about ACC play for us. That's what starts this week. And next goal for us is to win the division. And it starts this week. That we've had we've been in a lot of big-time postseason games around here for a long time now, and the only reason that's happened is because we've been able to win this league. And so everything for us is inside out, and it's about winning this league. And to win the league, you got to win the division. Last year was kind of a different deal, but it's about winning your division, and every time you tee it up against an ACC team, it is critical. So we're excited about that, and excited to be back here next week with our fans, and again, really proud of our guys, proud of how they handled themselves this week and coming off a disappointing loss, and just so much enthusiasm and energy, and I never felt it wane at all. Again, I think that's a sign of a mature team as well. So, good day, and excited about keep moving forward. Any questions?
You said that Justin beat himself up all week. What was it like for DJ this week, sort of turn the page?
Yeah, same thing. Good. I think it's a great experience for him. Sometimes you learn more from the bad than you do the good. I think we can probably, as adults, we can all relate to that. It's kind of the same thing. He was disappointed in himself. But also how he finished was really good, and how he responded was a bright positive in that game. He was disappointed in how he played, but back to work. Same thing. He's very mature beyond his years, and he gets it. This is not we don't have anybody in denial around here. We got a bunch of great kids that have good self-awareness, and especially when you sit down and you watch things together, and everybody's kind of on the same page as, what we got to do better, and back to work. Great week of practice, and now let's go do something about it. And I thought he was excellent today.
Coach, you mentioned Will Taylor. It was evident how much confidence and trust you had in him, bringing him into the game. I think it was the second quarter of the Georgia game. But at what point in camp did you realize that how far beyond his years he was, and that you had to use him and couldn't keep him on the sideline?
I've known that since we were recruiting him. I knew that way before camp. We had him in camp, high school camp, a couple years ago, and he's a quarterback his whole career, and I threw him in there. I wanted to watch him at some wide out a little bit, and I was kind of blown away by him in camp, and I just told Jeff Scott, I was like, all right, just kind of keep him on the ice, and don't nobody's gonna know about him. He's a baseball guy and he plays quarterback, and people are gonna recruit him as a quarterback, but here's kind of my plan for him. And it just, fortunately, it worked out. But he's gonna be a great one. He's just dealing with him. In the recruiting process. This kid turned down, millions of dollars. To play football and baseball and chase his dream. He's got a he's just got a different level of maturity to him than your typical 18-year-old because of his experiences that he's had, but he's just a natural. You know, he's a gamer. He's got incredible moxie and poise, and yeah, I mean, I'm kind of questioning myself. I'm gonna really put this guy back there in a Georgia game. You know, I mean, putting Shipley, people are gonna think I've lost my mind. But when you watch Shipley and you watch Will Taylor, it doesn't take you long to figure out why. And they're young guys, and they'll make some mistakes somewhere along the way, but they are they're really unique young people.
Debo, with the defense after 2 games, your thoughts on them overall, what you've liked, and then some things maybe you'd like to see them still and get a little better at.
Tremendous. I mean, you know, like I said last week, you know, the thing about last week, you know, they were way more efficient than we were. I mean, I think they were like 20 of 30 or something, got rid of the ball quick, and they were like 7 of 50, almost 50% on 3rd down, and 3.9 a carry, but they still didn't score. You know, and we were just the opposite. We were completely inefficient and still had a chance. And so I think that says a lot about our defense. And then also what we did in special teams, because we played on a very long field for a couple of quarters there. But again, we have unbelievable leadership over there. I mean, I said coming in, we got 20 guys that have started a game, and you look at the experience that we have the guys that tackle, those backers, and we ain't even had Nolan. We'll get Nolan back this week, and man, I'm super excited about that. And the experience now that you've seen, Makuba's had 2 good games, and all those safeties that have been around here 2 and 3 years, we're playing smart. We're playing very smart football. You don't see many, you know, last couple of years we've had a lot of busts. You know, we've been young in some spots, and then we've got exposed with some big play busts. And we're not doing that. You know, we're give up a play or two. You know, Nate gave up a big play today, but you know he's in a good position. And you know we had cover 2, and T-Bone got put in a bind because you know I think it was Joe. He didn't get over the top. He's supposed to be over the top of that right there. And so just you know a couple little things here or there, but overall we've been structurally very, very good, making the right adjustments. We're leveraging the football. You know, they had the one big play today with Swint. He got outside of him, you know, not staying on the upfield shoulder. So just some little things. But, you know, that first group, I think that we just need to continue to play and prepare with the same type of urgency that I've seen us bring to the table these first couple of weeks. So the biggest thing is just continue to develop the depth. You know, I think that's the biggest thing for us is you know, that safety group, those backups going in there, you know, seeing Mickens go in there and have a big interception today. And I think that's the number one thing that I would say. And again, some of our depth being a little more precise in some of our twists up front, some of our games and stunts. I think we can improve there. I'm anxious to see how Trey did today. He made some mistakes last week, but you know, we just need to continue to bring the same type of mentality to the preparation, because that's the key. That's been the key for us. These guys prepare their tails off, and they're so smart. They are really, really smart. If we continue to play smart, we'll be a tough defense all year long if we can stay healthy, because, you know, it's almost not fair having a guy like Skowski out there. I mean, he's like, you know, Coach Venables in a helmet and shoulder pads. You know, he's just so smart, and the game is slow to him. And so I think that's really serving us well. And again, we're playing really smart football up front. You know, we're leveraging the ball. We're playing gap football. We're winning matchups. We're defeating double teams. We're keeping guys off our backers. And then structurally, we're playing the ball well in the air for the most part. We had 2, you know, close calls last week, but we were in good position. So I think cleaning up a little bit of technique at corner. We got a little high with our hands last week, and if we can do that, then I think we've got a chance to be very consistent.
Yeah, well, I think Lindsay got carries the first 2 plays of the game and then didn't play again for a while. Just what do you need to see from him to get more opportunity?
He just needs to grow up. needs to grow up. You know, it's just that simple. You know, he needs to be a team player and just grow up. He's a very good player. Obviously, he's very talented, and we've seen that. But just need him to stay out of Spiller's doghouse. That's really it.
Debbie, you talked after last week about, looked like you guys made a more concerted effort to get the run game going, get some rhythm there. Was that part of the offensive game plan? What did you think about it?
Absolutely. Yeah, we stunk last week, and we didn't do a good job of hanging in there with it. And again, we were either behind the field position, behind the change. It was just a you know, weird kind of day. But we did a poor job of at least working a little harder to be effective there. And so definitely, you know, we needed to get those guys going because it was really hard to evaluate them, you know, with what happened last week. But I was super impressed with Kobe. And then you see Shipley, man, that guy runs, he is so violent and explosive and just relentless for every inch. And you see the same thing in Kobe. So, you know, I held Maffa today. Maffa's right there with those guys, to be honest with you. You know, but we've got some depth there, obviously, with Lin J and then Dukes, you know, and Dukes is just a guy that, you know, Dukes could be, I mean, Dukes is really gifted, but he's just a guy that, you know, he's got to earn trust. There's no other way to say it. You know, he's very, very talented, but, you know, he's got to become a trustworthy guy in all areas. But we got some depth, and so that's why we held Maffa, because, you know, we just kind of want to see how it plays out, and you know, because we get 4 games with him, and we want to be able to hold him, and because you never know what's going to happen and where we want to be able to, because he's a sledgehammer, man. He's as good as anybody we have. But again, with the depth, you know, if we can hold him, we may. But we're just going to have to kind of wait and see how it goes. So just didn't want to put him in there today and kind of waste one of his 4, so to speak.
You talk about sticking with the run game. We talk about players, how important it is for them to get their confidence back after a tough game. Does that hold true for play callers? Is it important for a guy like Tony Elliott to have such a good game plan and play calling today so effectively and such balance on offense?
Yeah, I mean, and listen, I mean, I think certainly for coaches, everybody's getting into the rhythm of the season and things like that. But man, I mean, Tony's been doing this since 2014. He's been pretty good. You know, it's kind of laughable when you get into some of the stuff. You lose a game, and next thing you know, you've forgotten football. But you know, it comes with the territory. But Tony's outstanding, and he called a lot of great plays last week that we didn't execute. And so, you know, when we execute the calls that are made, then we can complain about the play calling, you know. But when you call plays and everything's there and we're not executing what's called, well, it's hard to really, you know, be disappointed or mad about the play calling. You know, certainly there's some things you could have done a little better. You always evaluate that as a coach, but we had a lot of good calls a bunch of good calls that we didn't execute. Things that are there, you know. So in a game like that, man, it's razor thin. But certainly, you know, I thought he was outstanding and has been for a long time. So he's you know, excited again that we were able to have the type of balance and play as many guys and all that stuff. But we'll watch the tape and we'll still see some areas that we need to keep improving.
Yeah, but how do you think Tyson looked out there?
Great. I was proud of him. You know, Haiti had the overthrow. You know, I'd rather see him underthrow it than overthrow it with the type of guys we got, because most of the time our guys are going to be able to make the play on the ball. And their kid, what a play! That kid's a baller. At number 14, he's a player of the year type guy. He caught the back of the ball, I think. But he was excellent. He was sharp and just, you know, decisive, and you know, wish he'd have the one to Will Brown. Even if Will had caught it, he should have caught it, but he probably would have been a little short of the first down. So he kind of left that one die on him. but decision making and all that stuff, and just his confidence. I mean, I'm super excited. And the same thing, Hunter went in. Hunter's a guy that can really execute as well. So it's good to get him in there. Held Billy Wiles as well, kind of the same thing as Maffa. Really, just didn't want, maybe get him in there somewhere later on in the season, but he's going to be a really good player too. So, but I'm proud of Pumachan, man. It's exciting. I mean, he and Ross. Those are two amazing stories. Those two guys.
Coach, you had 56 rushing yards in the opening drive. Was there more of an emphasis on getting the rushing attack going early on?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we definitely wanted to be committed to that. And again, a lot of that's decision making on the quarterback. Sometimes it's called run. Sometimes it's there's other things built into that. But absolutely, that was something that we needed to do. And get the confidence going. I wanted to see 20 and 1, get a lot of touches and lather them up, and I wanted to challenge our offensive line to get better, fundamentally and things like that. And again, we're obviously a better football team than them. We're supposed to play well. We're supposed to win this game, but I just want to see us play well and execute and play better fundamentally. And I think that's what I'm going to see when I see the tape. But it was definitely an emphasis.
That wasn't like both of the Wills today. You had a good day, specifically Shipley. This past week you talked about taking advantage of opportunities. What are your thoughts on just his performance and kind of what he was able to do offensively?
Will Shipley? He's great. I mean, he didn't get a whole lot of opportunity last week. But he's, I love having him back there at kick return. I mean, he's sooner or later he's going to bust one. And I love just his passion for the game. His toughness. I mean, he is relentless. He runs the ball every time he gets it. He runs the ball, like his life depends on it. I mean, that's just how he plays the game. And as the game continues to slow down for him and he gets more and more experience, I mean, he's going to be a great one, no doubt about it.
Will Taylor, do you remember the first time he really came on your radar? Was it that camp, or were you guys already tracking him?
No, I didn't know who he was until he came to camp. I had no idea who he was. And I think he was like 10th grade maybe, and summer after 10th grade, I think, going into his junior year. And, I think Jeff he was a good athlete, and everybody knew about him from that standpoint. And Jeff was like, "Hey, this is a kid we might can get to walk on here, or this and that." And I was like, "Well, let me check him out at wideout." And he had never played wideout. Just threw him in there. I mean, he went like 2 routes, and I was like, "Holy cow, this guy is a rocket!" And natural hands, And so that's kind of how we. So then we just kind of let it go, and he's kind of baseball. Baseball. I waited till late to offer him because I didn't really want him to be on anybody's radar. So it worked out, and really happy for the Tigers. I mean, he's going to be he really doesn't know how to play receiver yet, and so we're not asking him to, we're really training him right now for what we need, but obviously in the return game stuff, but sooner or later he'll move full time, and once he gets the nuances of the position and really understands the inner workings of things, and I think we'll be able to use him in different ways as the season goes. But he's going to be a great player.
Just a quick follow-up. So you knew all along you were going to offer him. You just
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
want anyone to know.
Oh yeah, yep. I just held out as long as I possibly could, and then Bubba committed, and so then I told Bubba, I said, "Now here's my plan." And because he had, he was kind of the quarterback we were going after was Bubba, and I said, "Now here's what I'm gonna do with this other kid. He's a baseball guy like you," and he knew of him. They had been in a couple of things. I was like, "Now listen, I'm gonna offer him, but I'm gonna train him up as quarterback for a year. But here's what we're gonna do." And so everybody was on the same page, what we were trying to do.
How close was Will to going to the MLB draft and just going back?
You'll have to ask him. I would say probably pretty close. I think he walked away from a lot of money. The draft's different. The only reason he didn't get drafted in the first round is because he decided not to get drafted in the first round. That's kind of how baseball works. You have to declare up front, like, what you're going to do. And I just think that for him, you know, and what it was going to take for him to walk away from his dream of coming to Clemson and playing baseball and football, and it just a huge decision, unbelievable decision. So you'll have to ask him that on how close it was.
Tony said a couple of the missed throws I think that DJ had maybe were just a result of him throwing on the run. Is that just carrying over the proper fundamentals?
The one in the end zone, I thought that was more on Ross, to be honest with you. I thought Ross, he kind of stopped and jumped a little early, and I think DJ thought he kind of mistimed it. But I thought that was a good throw. I mean, the one bad throw was the screen. That's like the easiest throw ever. And he just I think kind of fell back off of it a little bit. And usually when you do that, the ball gets high. And you know, Joe tips it and they get the pick. But I thought he made some really good throws. You know, nothing really bad at all. I mean, I thought he was on point, you know, all day. He missed a couple here or there, but very, very solid day.
Was Foster held?
Yeah, we held him. He wasn't. He had a little flare up with his allergies. You know, he's got bad allergies. Always has. And obviously, he's had asthma since high school, and you know he's been great. But I think it was Thursday, I believe he just all of a sudden had some type of allergic reaction or something. So he was better today, but we held him. So hopefully he'll be good to go Monday.
Devin, what are the things you like about what you guys are doing offensively heading into ACC play, and where do you feel like you guys still maybe need to improve in some areas?
Well, I mean, we can't be turning the ball over. We got to clean up some stuff. I do like the fact that we got to play a lot of guys today. I think that's really, really good, because the longer guys sit on ice, you know, it's just the moment gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So the fact that we got to get a lot of guys in the game, and you got to see Bo Collins was awesome, you know, and just getting some touches. I think it was really, really key. So all those guys, a Joe, you know, him getting some opportunities. And so just getting guys in the rhythm a little bit of the game and the season, I think is very important today. So that was something we needed to do, because that's going to really carry over for us. But just continuing to you know, clean up the mistakes and you know, play with the precision and details that it's going to take for us to execute against really, really good opponents. So, you know, I think that we did what we needed to do today. I'd like to have seen us got the ball down the field a couple more times, but you know, they were kind of just playing off and playing on top, and so we did what we needed to do.
Anything else from anybody in person before we go to Zoom? Do we have anything from anybody on Zoom?
Zoom's going to sleep.